Honeybees are considered to be amongst the most important pollinators. The delicious honey they provide also has anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant properties. Today we find out about the process from bee to bottle. Honey is a product that has been used and revered since ancient times. Exactly how long honey has existed is hard to say, because it has been around since as far back as we can record. Did you know that the fossils of honeybees date back about 150 million years? Mpumalanga is well known as a productive bee farming region, and the quality of honey has been consistently high. Let's take a look at farming of honey. Farming bees commercially can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. Firstly, one needs a lot of bees and then a plentiful supply of pollen. A good source of bee food or pollen is crop farming. The bees provide an essential service to the farmers by pollinating their crops. Bee farmers develop and grow colonies of beehives, which they deliver to these farms. From the ensuing pollination, the bee farmer will get a hive full of honey, which can then be sold. We met some of the bee farmers to find out more.
To be a bee farmer, you must have a lot of patience and a lot of endurance. You must be able to go with almost no sleep in some seasons, and because you need to deliver the bees on time. And yes, if you think it's a quick buck to make, no, it's hard. There's about 20,000 different species of bees, but not all of them make honey. 90% are like pollinators, it's native bees. In the Western Cape, you get the Cape capensis. We call it the black bee here because it's a pest. And we are farming with scutulata, also known as African killer bee. There's about 60,000 bees in a proper swarm. In a honey flow, it can take you up to 3 weeks to build it up, from catch to build up. And in a dry season, it can take 4 months. The farmers inquire for bees, how many swarms. They decide how many swarms they want on how many hectares, like 4 to 6 beehives per hectare of kiwis, 4 beehives on macadamias per hectare to get proper pollination. So some farmers pay you for pollination, some is just one hand washes the other. If there's good honey, you get the honey, they get the pollination. It's about a 3-week thing. When we start with the first camp and we go through all the camps, when we finished on the last box, we're already late. Then we start over, checking the eggs, checking if the queen are laying eggs, building the swarms up, because from here they need to go to lychees, they need to go to macadamias, kiwis.
Bees eat nectar and pollen. Nectar they get from the flowers, if it's a macadamia or an avo or an aloe or wherever, and the pollen is on the filaments that the bee collects on pollen sacs, and it takes the pollen back to the hive. So the baby bees eat pollen and the adults will get a bit of honey, nectar, that they will eat to survive. Each plant has different nectar in there, so the flavor of the honey will come from the plant, not from the bee. The bee will go and just collect the nectar and take it back to the brood box or the super. The quality of the honey will be affected from the season. So you only get honey out of a beehive in flowering season. So the macadamias have to be flowering to produce nectar for the bees to get that food to take it back to the box. You will only get honey once a year in macadamias because flowers only flower then in August, September. But then after that, in summer, here in Mpumalanga, we take them to the gums. They flower in summer here where we are, and we get some gum honey, so we can get double cropping in 1 year.
Whether you are doing a hive inspection or harvesting honey, working with bees can be dangerous. Patience and caution is needed.
When you're harvesting honey, the first thing that we are looking for, it's the queen. Don't squash the queen. If you squash the queen, you must know the hive is gone, because the bees, all of them, they controlled by the queen. So if we go to harvest, the first thing that we looking for is for the queen. We go there, we smoke a little bit, and then we open the hive, and then we smoke on top so the bees goes down a little bit. We don't smoke too much, because if you smoke too much, they're going out as well. So the queen will abscond. And then don't bang the hive. You need to have a hive tool with you. You take out your frame nicely, you do what you want to do, then you put back all the bees. Because if you can do it carelessly, you might find that when you open the lid, the queen she is on the lid. Then when the queen she is gone, there is no more hive.
I like to work with the bees, open the box, service it up, check the larvae, how the bees are working inside, check the queen, how she's laying the larvae inside, do bee removals. There's a lot to bees that you can actually admire if you get into it.
Yeah,
You gotta work like
you.
a lot of days, like at night, you don't get a lot of sleep. You sleep during the day, maybe 2 hours, then you have to go again. Some other times, maybe I forget to put my bee suit right, then I get stung. And it's just, but I just go through it. That's just how I'm used to it now.
My very special guest on the sofa today is a honey distributor and marketer, and someone who truly cares about the quality of the food that we consume. Jaco Lubbe from the company Love Farming, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Love Farming, where did that start?
I think Love Farming is a dream of getting our personal products and the products of fellow farmers into the hands of South Africans, as fresh, as healthy and quick as possible.
Tell me, why is honey your main product?
We need pollination for all these products that we've got. So the honey is an essential part of farming. It is there, we need it, and we could just as well use the byproduct honey for anybody that wants.
Yeah, and it's also very healthy, honey.
Oh, that speaks of itself. Yeah. Everybody knows of the health benefits maybe that honey provides. Yeah. So it's just a question of how to get the right honey to the right people.
And tell me, how easy or difficult is it to get into honey farming? And would you recommend, say for instance me, to say, Saretta, you need to seriously consider honey farming?
I think to do it as a hobby is what normally is how we start.
Yeah.
Which is, I would recommend anybody to start with, except if you're allergic maybe. But as a hobby, it's perfect. As an industry, you should just consider the pros and cons and if it's going to work for you. But then already you will have learned what the benefits of it is for you, and if you want to do it, if you want to upscale.
It seems to me that the honey accumulation of the bees are the easy part of it. It's more the distribution side of the final product that's the problem.
Yeah, and maybe that is the problem with all our products. We South African farmers are the best farmers in the world. Yeah. It's now a question of how to get our products, not just overseas, but also to our local community available.
What is the most rewarding side of bee farming?
It's actually to look at this bee that almost is like a round ball, then flies up and down and communicates between the hives, and this whole process of them trying to make, or not trying, they're making something out of nothing. It's amazing to experience, and then if you've got the final product, then just to see this whole circle going around with the final product, it's amazing to see.
When do you know honey is original? It's in its purest form. How would I know as the consumer?
Yeah. There is scientific techniques. We're not going to go into those ones. But there's a couple of ways to just manually do a couple of tests for you as a consumer. One is, it's not a syrup. So honey should be not flow like a syrup flows. It should be a slow moving product.
Thick consistency.
Product.
Yeah.
So if you take a honey bottle, you turn it around, the bubble mustn't go up to the top. Means that it's too fluid. it's too much sugar in it maybe, or too much water in it. So it must go slow. It must also crystallize after a while, depending on which type it has to. Then you know it's pure.
Yeah.
So those, even if you can squeeze it into water, if you can just think if there was sugar with it,
It's going to dissolve.
it's going to dissolve, yeah. So maybe it will just
float. In a
float.
little
It will
bubble.
blend. It will not just blend. It will. You will see the honey still in there.
That's quite interesting. I didn't know that you could actually self-test it. I am going to try it.
Do.
Jaco, if somebody wants to know more about beekeeping, bee farming, honey distribution, where can they get hold of you?
Yeah, we've got a website, lovefarming.co.za. So they can go there and get our contact details, or email info@lovefarming.co.za.
Thank you, Jaco, for spending time with us and here in Shepherd's Sofa, the studio. We've learned a lot from you, and hopefully a lot of our viewers is going to make contact with you. That was our very jam-packed show for today. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we leave you with these interesting facts. Did you know that a spoonful of honey can keep a person alive for 24 hours? And honey has no expiry date, and it's healthy and very tasty. See you next time.